Hello and welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother, and it is eviction night. We have got a fantastic episode to talk about ahead of us. We have Marisha up on the block, we have Zizi up on the block, we have Fern and Nikita up on the block. It is absolutely chaotic. I know I'm behind. I actually watched this eviction live from Paris, well, Disneyland Paris, but it was actually a very, very shocking outcome. It was not what I expected at all, and I'm disappointed, but it is what it is. We move on. We are now down to 6 people, but first of all, we've got to talk about the episode before the eviction. So, without much further ado, let's get into the episode. But before we do, make sure you're liking the button on the video. I always get really confused when I say liking the button. Anyway, you've got to comment down below. Give me your thoughts, give me your feelings, give me your opinions, and also make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. We're on the way to 800. Currently, as far as I'm aware, we're at 718. That might have changed overnight because I am recording this at night time. But either way, you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. So let's keep that momentum going, keep building up to 800, and then eventually we're going to get to 1,000. And then the content's really going to start flowing. It's going to get really juicy, and I'm very excited for that to happen. So up first, we are going to talk about Louis and him dishing the dirt on people. I always love Louis dishing the dirt on people, giving gossip and just really having a chat with people about just random celebrities and giving us some insider information. Apparently, Mariah Carey doesn't do stairs. She absolutely refuses to go up and down them, which is interesting. Apparently she gets carried, which I think is crazy. What do you mean she gets carried up and down her stairs? Does she live in a bungalow? Surely she doesn't. Or maybe she just doesn't like going up and down them in public. Maybe it's all right in her own home. But either way, that was a very, very juicy piece of information. Next up, we had a Cheryl Cole conversation. The whole fight with the toilet attendant was brought up. Now, I was too young to remember this. Apparently, it was 2003, so I was only 1 at the time. But apparently, she, like, beat a toilet attendant to the point where this poor woman had a black eye. And, oh my God, I've seen the pictures and I was like, rah, how did Cheryl Cole get away with this? Like, low-key, how did she get away with this? Because that's not okay. That's not good. Either way, it was very, very interesting. I think Louis spoke a couple of times about Cheryl, saying that he likes her more than she likes him, which is very, very interesting. And then the final person that he was talking about was Alexandra Burke and the whole incident on X Factor when it was JLS versus Alexandra Burke in the final, and he managed to get Westlife as like the sort of supporting act for JLS to sing their final song, which was actually Flying Without Wings, which is a song that we've heard. Is it Flying Without Wings? Gliding Without Wings? I don't even know. Walking Without... No, it's not walking because wings are flying. I think it's Flying Without Wings. So apparently they sung that, but in the same show, what's his face? Simon Cowell managed to get Beyonce for Alexandra Burke, and that's when he realised, damn, he's got me beat. That's over. The game is over. They've won. Alexandra Burke has won. And also, like, Louis was talking about how he was so angry, or not angry, but he was just pissed off that he'd been done dirty like that he'd got Beyonce for Alexandra Burke. This was back in 2009. So this was like when Beyonce... No, Beyonce was big by then. That was when she was she just starting her solo career at that point? I might be chatting absolute rubbish because 2009 was when she did Telephone with Lady Gaga. So, yeah. But yeah, that was an interesting conversation and a great start to the episode. Up next, we have the awkward conversation between Fern and the housemates when she told them about sort of what she'd done. Everybody thought that she was leaving. Everyone was like, oh my God, is she going to be like, I'm leaving the show, like this is it, bye-bye, goodbye everyone, love you to pieces, bye-bye, 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 bye-bye. No, it wasn't. She was just basically going, oh, Louis, I put the snake on your bed. And he went, oh, you fucking cow. It was absolutely hilarious. Actually, it was genuinely one of the funniest moments of the episode. Just his response to it was brilliant. And honestly, it was such a great moment. Louis was shocked. He did not think it was fun. He was like, "Oh, you were the last person I thought it would be. I really thought it was like someone over that side of the room." To which Bradley was like, "Yeah, we thought so." But the rest of the house already knew it was fun. I think the only person that didn't know it was fun was Louis, which is so absolutely hilarious. So yeah, that was quite an interesting part of the episode. I think it was built up to be something that it wasn't. I still think the twist was a bit dodgy, but also like, if it didn't happen, then I guess Louis would have been up for nomination. Zizi might not have been. I don't know. It is what it is. There's not really much you can do about it. If Louis hadn't have got immunity, the whole eviction process would have been completely different this week. So yeah, bit of a pain in the ass there. So up next we have the courtroom activity, or like challenge, or whatever it was. They essentially had to split into defendants, prosecutors, and obviously the people who were being accused of the crime. Lauren Simon, who obviously was a housemate on this series, was actually coming back. She actually came back and was the judge, which was really cool. I thought this challenge was interesting. It was certainly a lot of fun to watch, but there was actually no reason for it aside from like a punishment at the end for the people who failed to do their job properly. So it was a little bit of a, why are we bothering with this? There's always a lot of chat online on Twitter about sort of how the tasks are kind of boring, they don't really do much. Why are we making them do tasks every single episode? I think it's more of a structural device, getting them to do a task every day. It can be boring in the house, just sitting around doing nothing. So having like something a day to do is good. And also it just fits in with like the vibes of the house, making sure they've got something to do, they're keeping active, they're doing something, I guess. The first person who was being accused of something was Marisha. She was being accused of being a game player. Her defense was Zizi and her prosecution was David. I gotta say, both Zizi and David did an absolutely fantastic job. I thought they did really well. However, when Marisha took the stand to defend herself, she kind of went, "Yeah, I'm a game player, but everyone here is a game player. So am I really a game player?" And I was like, "Well, you've just admitted that you are one, so you kind of just made a rod for your own back there." Yeah, didn't really help yourself out there. Little bit, yeah, not good. So she was found guilty of that, so she essentially failed her own case. Then we had David being accused of inconsiderate noise pollution. Again, a really funny court battle. Fern's words were absolutely fabulous. It was brilliant. She actually delivered a very good defense. And then Louis stood up and basically was like, "You're a decent human being. You're very noisy. You're annoying at times. I've had enough." And there are many people in the house that feel the same. Who are those people? I've had letters of complaints. It was quite funny. It was all very jovial. And then when David stood up, he was like, "I'm not noisy." Oh, I was like singing, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's not fighting the allegations. He's not fighting these allegations. It's crazy." Yeah, no, it was actually a really funny moment. David is just a very entertaining person. I think we need to see more of him on TV. I think he's wasted on whatever this I Be for Weekender show is. He needs to be on This Morning or something. He needs to be doing something that the public can see him more regularly, because my god, this man is so funny. It's the that he does. It's so funny. It genuinely has me creasing. The last court case was Bradley being accused of cowardice. Coulson was the prosecution. Marisha was the defense, which meant like Nikita actually did nothing in this challenge. Kind of like the series, but we move on from that. Bradley admitted he was a coward pretty much straight away, and I was like, what? That's odd. So the defense kind of didn't really go anywhere, and then the no, not the defense, the prosecution. But then Marisha, when she was defending Bradley, wow, it was enough to sway me. Let's just put it that way. I was like, when he said, "Yeah, I'm a coward," I was a coward in that moment. I was like, okay, I'm voting guilty then. But then Marisha's defense was like, okay, fair enough, fair enough, and he was actually found not guilty. So, like I said, it was a good challenge. Kind of led nowhere. My feelings on it are kind of mixed because did I find it hilarious to watch? Yes, I did. But what was the point of it? You kind of did just waste like 10 minutes on this for no apparent reason. Like there wasn't even a prize that came out of it. It was just if you fail, you go to jail. Ooh, that kind of rhymes. And that's kind of fun. But yeah, let's talk about the jailbirds, shall we? So the jailbirds were Fern, David, Marisha, Coulson, and ZZ, I think it was those ones. So yeah, it was an interesting time, I gotta say. They were basically talking, one of their conversations was, would you rather constantly sneeze or fart? I don't think I want to constantly sneeze. That would be horrendous. But then constantly farting, that's equally as bad. I don't know. I don't know, it's a tough one. I feel like I'm gonna side with Fern and the fact that I'd rather constantly fart than constantly sneeze. Just because sneezing is so violent. It's horrendous. And sometimes it hurts to sneeze. Like sometimes it's a bit crazy. It just catches you off guard and you're like, what's happened there? And then the jail peeps were talking about Louis Walsh and how he is actually a lovely person, and they actually think that he just enjoys playing a villain and being that sort of snarky guy, but he actually is a big softie and he is lovely. And you can tell just the way he's like all the time. It's really cute. He's like, yeah, he is actually really, really sweet. The big, like I said, I think he just plays the dickhead sometimes, and he really, really amps it up in order to get reactions out of people because that's what he thinks makes good TV. You're forgetting that this man was on X Factor for years. He knows how to make good TV. He knows how to get reactions out of people. He knows what to say in order to do that. So I think he's the one that's actually playing a bit of a game. He's being himself, but he is just trying to get other people out of their pram, and it is interesting to watch. And there was a really funny moment where he came out and he went, won't be long now. And everyone was talking afterwards and they went, yeah, we really felt supported by Louis in that moment. It was so lovely to know that he was there for us, and he was cheering us on, he was wishing us on. So yeah, that was what happened in the jail. It's time to talk about Fern and Nikita's argument, which was so weird and weird. Yeah, it was just weird to watch, I'll be 100% honest. The conversation started, I'm pretty sure Fern was a little bit tipsy at this point, I won't lie, but it essentially came down to Fern going up to Nikita and being like, yo, we still have the same brain as we did when we were younger, right? And like, just because I'm older doesn't mean that I'm mentally that much older. So like, when you're saying things, just I know I'm old, but like, don't treat me differently because of that. And Nikita's sitting there going like, what? And she's like, yesterday when you were like, or like a couple of days ago when you were like, oh, I like your stripy top. Like stripes are very in at the moment. It just came across a little bit sort of condescending, as if like, oh, you wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know that. And obviously, if that's the way that Fan feels, fair enough. And she brought it up with Nikita, and Nikita was like, I feel like you're making a big thing out of nothing. And like, there was no point where I felt Fern was being anything other than, this is how you made me feel. Like, I know you didn't mean it like that, but just acknowledge how I'm feeling. And it came across from him as if like, why were you feeling like that? Why were you feeling like that? Like, you've made nothing, something out of nothing. And she was like, no, no, it's just, it's fine. I'm not trying to cause an argument. I was just saying, because I don't even remember what set it off. I think they were both just being silly in this situation. I think Ferns was fueled by um alcohol, and I think Nikita was fueled by frustration, and it just didn't make a good pairing in that moment. I just didn't really know whose side to be on, because I was like, both sides are kind of being a bit dicky at the moment. It's not really funny. It was a bit of a flippant comment, but then again, there is a language barrier you've got to remember, and to an extent, and therefore the way he says things or the way he words things shouldn't be taken 100% to heart, because obviously he's having to translate in his brain. It might just come out wrong. Yeah, I just felt like Nikita took it really badly, and then like later on when he was trying to be like, we don't have a problem, right? And Fam was like, no, of course we don't. I was just bringing it up as a just like yeah, yeah, a weird moment. And let's just move on. The less said about that, the better. So we now have the eviction, and sadly, Marisha and Zizi were the ones to leave. They were two of my top four. I wanted Zizi to go as far as possible. I really actually have come out of this series liking her. I think I went in and I wasn't sure about her the first week, and then the second week I started to get her to know her more, and then obviously in the last couple of days I feel like I've really started to like her and found her really entertaining and funny. With Marisha, been a long time fan of her. I saw her in Hairspray. I actually missed her in Guys and Dolls. I was there the one performance when she wasn't, and I was so upset. I was so fuming. Her understudy was great though. But I do wish her the best in the future. I can't wait to see what her next project is. I'm very excited to find out. But yeah, I'm gutted that they went. I really am. I think it was Fern's time to go, and obviously you know my feelings about Nikita. Nikita is literally sometimes like watching paint dry, and like sometimes he has really good moments, like I'm gonna get onto in a minute, but like sometimes I'm like, God, this is tough to watch. It's not, you're not even exciting. Like, what actually are you doing in the house apart from just hanging out with the boys, Bradley and Coulson and David? Yeah, like, you're not giving me anything. Same to Coulson, really. Coulson, yeah, I don't know. Those two are kind of just surplus to requirement for me at the moment. They're lovely people, don't get me wrong, but not who I want to be watching on TV at the moment. Let's be honest. Okay, it's time for iconic quotes and moments, and today we've actually got 5 iconic quotes and moments, which is really exciting. The first one is Bradley spilling the Cocoa Pops all over the floor. That must have been a nightmare to clean up, and I think everybody's dropped cereal in their life. It goes everywhere. It's awful. It's not fun. So I do not envy him in the slightest. That was not a funny moment for him, but a hilarious moment for us at home. The next funny moment was Nikita teaching Bradley and David how to say happy birthday in Russian. It was such a random moment, but Bradley and David were not getting it. It was not forming in their mouth correctly, and it actually was really funny to watch. Then we had people pranking Marisha. Now, this was an elaborate prank. I think it started with Nikita trying to like prank Louis into thinking there were spiders in the house by tickling him with a feather duster. And then David was like, Marisha, we've got a secret task. We have to move all of the cutlery from the kitchen to upstairs without anybody realizing. And Marisha was like, okay. And she actually started doing it. Honestly, I did feel a little bit bad for her. I didn't expect that to happen, but yeah, she started doing it, and then she realized everyone was laughing at her, and she was like, damn it, you got me. Oh, sucks. The next funny line, and it's a quote from Louis, was Fern has been around for 100 years. Fern's actually 5 years younger than Louis Walsh, so the fact that he was saying, oh, she's been around 100 years. She's been around 100 years. She knows her way around TV. That was really funny to me, and it actually did make me chuckle a lot. And lastly, we had Nikita, Louis, and Bradley singing. It was a weird watch. It was an iconic moment just because of how bad it was. Louis cannot sing, Nikita's struggling, and Bradley's actually a pretty decent singer. So they were just making up like a song about the fact that Louis's been saved from immunity, and I was like, okay, cool, this is fun. But it was so bad. It was so bad that it was good in that weird way. Yeah, it was, yeah, just odd, odd, odd. So that is all we have time for today. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Do all of that YouTube stuff that you guys do so well. We're on our way to 800. I cannot believe I'm saying that number. That is craziness, but you guys are doing bits at the moment, so make sure you keep on doing it. So without much further ado, I will see you later, probably later on today actually, to catch up, but I will leave you now. See you later. Keep on ranting. Bye now.